Hello guys, so welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to cover another topic of CKA, and that is the question is right in front of you. So the main goal is to simplify it and make it so that this question will be very easy. Okay, so that's a very simple goal. So over here you can see the question. What's the question saying? That you have to create and configure user access with a certificate and role. Okay, so what is the context? You need to grant a new user, John Doe, access to view pods in your Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so today I have prepared a little bit of concept so that I can explain to you quickly on what is the concept behind how you can achieve this, so that you won't have a lot of confusion while we are doing hands-on of this. So let me just show you what I have prepared. So if we go here, I hope you can see it clearly. So here's the concept, right? So we are going to give a role access to a user. So what are the steps? So the steps to give a role access to a user is, first you're going to generate a private key, and then we are going to create a certificate sign-in request. So to give a certificate sign-in request, first you use your private key and create a .csr file, and then from the .csr file you're going to get a request value, key value, and that you will put in your CSR certificate sign-in request template, and then you will apply this YAML. So when you apply this YAML, you will get a certificate sign-in request in pending state. So once you get that in the pending state, you have to approve it. So that is another step where you have to approve it, and once you approve it, like your certificate gets generated, and once your certificate is generated, then you can store that in a .crt file, and then afterwards you're going to use this to set a new user in the kubeconfig as a credential. So that is the whole process, and of course you're going to create a role and role binding, so that you can make sure that the user has whatever specified permissions you specify on the role, only those permissions the user has. So this is the entire process, and we will get hands-on with this now, and then you will get an idea of like what we are really doing. I don't want to waste much time, and so we are going to do hands-on on Killer Coda, as it is the best way to do it. So I'll just refresh my screen. I had just kind of done a small practice on this already. Okay, so let this load. This takes a little bit of time. Okay, so till then I'm going to copy this command. This is the alias command, so that I don't have to keep typing kubectl, and I can just type k. Pretty lazy. I'm a pretty lazy guy. Okay, so now we are here, and I'm going to press paste. So when we press paste, this alias is set, and we are ready to set a user. So our goal is to make a user called John Doe who can access pods, right? Fine. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do like k get pods right now, a simple k get pods. When I do a k get pods, you can see that it's saying no resources found in default namespace. So I'm just going to introduce to you another command called k get pods -as equal to say John Doe, who is our user. So right now what it says is user John Doe cannot list resource pods in API group, right? So this is what is the message, that John Doe cannot list the API groups. That means we have to create this entire process. So what are we going to do is, first of all, I'll go here, I'll refresh this so that we can see from the beginning what was the process you will follow during the exam. So this is the exact process you should follow during the exam, so that you do not have any problems while solving it. Okay, there seems to be a bit of a lag. I duplicate this and I type over here CSR. Okay, so you just search CSR, and the first one that comes, you click on that, and over here you just search private key, because that's what is the first step, right? Okay, so you're going to see this command to create the private key. Just copy the first command, copy it. Wait, let me just rearrange this here. So if I go here and I paste it, I'll just create the key with the name John Doe. because that is our question. And so our key is created. Now what is the next step? Over here we have to create the .csr using the key. So you can see the key is being passed and the .csr is the file which will get created. So we'll just copy this, we'll go here, we paste it, and over here our key is called as John Doe, so we will put that John Doe, and our file will be again John Doe. I'll make sure that everything is John Doe over here, okay? So our CSR file is created, and now if you go down you will see that we have to create the YAML and apply it. And over here there is a value called as request, there is a value for user, and there is expiration seconds. So depending on what expiration the certificate will expire, so you can put it depending on it. So right now it seems 8,000, I mean this numerical is for 10 days and 3,600 is for 1 hour. So you can decide that based on your request, and this request is in the base 64 encoded format, and it is the value of the CSR file content. As you can see where it's written, the value of the CSR file content. So already created the CSR, and here is a command which has been given to retrieve this value from the CSR. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, we will just paste this, and we will just go to our CSR file, and it is John Doe, right? So I'll put John Doe over here. So when I put John Doe, I can see that the value is over here. That is fine. So now we have to go and apply this YAML with the correct values. So we will just copy this directly from here. No worries or anything of that sort. I'll just open a new tab. That's what I like to do. We will use BI editor to create the YAML. I will just name it John Doe CSR.yl. That's it. And I'll put insert, right click, paste. So here is insert. So we have to make sure that our user is John Doe. So I'll just put here John Doe. But we have to update this request. So how will I do it, right? Like, should I go and do a backspace on all of this? That will take a lot of time. So what you do is just press escape. Make sure you're in escape. Go here and press double D. So you delete that. Press I again for insert. Just make sure it's aligned. I'll put request. And now I will pick the value which we have already retrieved over here in the base 64 format. So I'll just copy this, and I will go here and paste. So now we have our CSR file request value in base 64 over here, and we have put the right user, and here it seems to be for 1 day, so we have kept it as 1 day. Fine. So it will expire in 1 day, which is okay because we're just trying to see how it works. So I'm going to escape, Shift:WQ, and this will close the file. Then I'll do K apply -F John Doe. Okay. So now our certificate sign-in request has been created. This is what is being mentioned over here. So we'll check it out. K get CSR. So you can see that there is a new one just created just now called as John Doe as the user, and the condition is pending, which I did mention that you have to approve it so that the certificate authority can acknowledge this certificate. So what you do is you go back here and you will see that there is a command to approve it. So we'll just do it right away. We'll go here, we'll put this, and instead of my user, I'm going to put John Doe. Okay. Now if I go into get CSR, you will see that it's approved and issued. Fine. So that's well and good. Our certificate is ready. So now if our certificate is ready, we have to also, I've mentioned, right, we have to store the certificate in a file, in a .crt file. So this is the command which will read the JSON and do it. So I will just show you. If I go here and I do K get .csr John Doe -o JSON. So it's a big file, and we have to make sure that only this part of the file is stored in a file called as .crt file. So how we do that? So we have already got the command here directly in the documentation. You can pick it up. It is reading into this file and storing it into this .crt file. So we'll just take this command, we'll come here, we will paste it, and we have to get it from John Doe, the CSR. We'll update the CSR. We're going to get it from John Doe, and we're going to store it again in johndoe.crt. Yep. So I'll just check how it looks. johndoe.crt. Yeah. So you can see the certificate is very much stored properly in this file. So this is pretty much the main process of making everything ready. Then now we are going to go into the role part. So we will go to the role binding. So here there's a generic role. What it does is it creates a role called as developer, and you can see what permissions it has. Verb like create, get, list, update, delete, and the resource is pods. Okay, so we'll just take this command and we'll create this role. It seems like a valid role for us right now. So we'll take this role, we will create this role. Our role is ready. Now we have to bind this role to the user we just created. So how will we do that? So there's a command just below it. So I'll just copy this command and I'll paste it here. Okay, so over here our role is developer and our user is John Doe, right? So that's it. So now our role is binded. So John Doe technically is associated with a role that gives permission to read, write, and delete pods. Okay. So this is not the end of the process. Now we have to make sure that this credential is added in the kubeconfig. Only then John Doe can access it. That is the final step. So how do you do that? If you see here, this is the kubeconfig set credential step. You can just directly take it from here, copy it, and we'll look what all we are passing into it. So we will go here, we will paste it, and you'll see over here that there are two parameters being passed. So first of all, we can set the name of the credential. So we will set the name of the credential as usual as John Doe, because John Doe is our user. And now the key which we have generated, we have to pass that John Doe, and our certificate, which is again John Doe. Okay. John Doe has been set. Now this is the entire process is done. Now how do we verify? So if I do k get pod -as equal to John Doe, you can see that instead of it saying that John Doe has no permission, which is like the initial stage where if you look here, okay, here in this tab, right? I think here, yeah, this one. It said forbidden, right? Forbidden when I did this command, but now after this entire process, if I do it again, you can see clearly that it is giving. So this is the way you are going to handle this question. So I hope you guys understood, and I've simplified it to some degree. You just have to follow along and do the same things I did, and then to some degree just try it again and again, and then you will see that it's very simple. You have to first create a key, then after creating a key, you have to make sure that I think it's better I go here and show you. Yeah. So first you create the key, then you create a CSR file, as you can see over here, and using the private key, and then from the CSR file you're going to get the request in base 64 format, encoded format, and then we're going to update that into the YAML, then apply the YAML, then you're going to approve the certificate CSR, and then once the certificate is approved and issued, you're going to extract the certificate out of it and store it in a CRT file. Then you'll create a role, and then you'll bind that role to the user, and then finally you will add all the credentials into the kubeconfig. So that's it, and then the user will have access to do whatever he wants as per the role. So I hope you guys like this video, and this will come in CKA exam for 5% weightage. So this question comes, you guys can solve it. Thank you.